Hello, my loves, and welcome to this message. So, it's good to have you back, or if you're new here, welcome. Before I dive right in, I want to give a little heads up. My readings tend to be a bit different, they can be unique, they can be quite the deep dive. Sometimes weird stuff happens, but if you like to dive deep and like to find out what's the core of things, then you are in the right place. Okay, let's get started. I heard some calling. I've been called into this message. And I got some instructions to bring some paper, pens, and this piece of bark that I collected the other day when I found a really magical space, a waterfall in the woods. And yeah, so I do have a feeling that this might be some dark goddess archetype that wants to come through. I will tune in for this a little deeper, so just give me a minute and I will connect and see who's here. I've been seeing, and I could tell that they were calling me in because I saw a lot of crows and heard them calling, and while I was sitting here looking out the window, they were landing on some electricity lines out the window. So let's see what they wonder who they are, and if they want to show us or tell us who they are. Okay. So it was interesting because I had the feeling that this might be the Celtic goddess, the Morrigan. And I thought that can't really be, because the Morrigan is a Celtic goddess, and the Celts were they didn't write. So when she said that I was supposed to bring writing utensils, I was like, that can't be the Morrigan. Oh, okay, so this is why the bark is here. It's from a pine tree. Okay, so there's something here about learning a new language. And it's like remembering how when you learned to write, how hard it was. Oh, and this is actually interesting because this fountain pen, it's not pretty. But it was my mom's when she went to school. And I used it later as well. And I still like to use it for writing. So I do kind of connect this with elementary school. Okay, so maybe she doesn't even want me to write anything. We will see. Maybe I will. But okay, so she's kind of comparing this with you are learning a new language, and it's kind of as if you were going to elementary school all over again. To be clear, this is not a language in the common sense that we're talking about. This is the language of the universe, how the universe speaks to you, or however you conceptualize it, how the cosmos or God or your angels or your spirit guides or your higher self or whoever, however you conceptualize it, how they are speaking to you, how they are talking to you. And because they are constantly talking to you all the time. And the question is not so much if you can hear them or if they talk to you at all. The question is, do you understand them? Do you understand that they are trying to talk to you? And even if you see that they are trying to talk to you, do you understand? So one example from my reality right now, I do recognize that the language the universe is speaking with me has changed. It's like you could say maybe a new level. It is, there are a few new guides, new energies that came up lately. I've been going through major life changes and shifts. So that's quite the common thing, that if you go through changes, that at some point new guides can show up. And I have a very close relationship with my spirit guides in general, my spirit team. That's how I conceptualize it. And yeah, there are new energies that are working with me. And I do recognize that they use a different kind of language than I'm used to. So I have to learn it. And yeah, it's not always that easy. It's like elementary school all over again. Only that you don't have a teacher who tells you how it works. What you have is like, it's almost as if you went to school and they were just like, yeah, okay, so here, just play with it and just figure it out yourself. So now she's bringing me to this piece of bark, and she wants me to read it for you. So I'm drawn to this here, and it reminds me of like rock formations, like cliffs, maybe even. Okay, so this is like a cliff. This brings me to the Fool card from the tarot, where that Fool is walking over the cliff, and this is from a pine tree. So the Fool on the tarot card in the classical tarot has a pine cone on his bundle, and that is representative of all the karma, or like everything that he brought from earlier lives into this new life. And or in any new cycle. And he's quite, you could almost say, almost naive, because he's just like, he's not really looking. He's just wandering off that cliff. And there's this little dog barking at him. It's considered that is the ego. And the Fool itself, as the archetype of the Fool, is just that there's a certain lightness to that figure, and I also use the word naive. So yeah, you could say, well, it's kind of, I'm looking for a certain word. There you go. Language is failing me. Sometimes the English language is failing me. It's not my first language, so there is a certain degree of carelessness. Yeah, you could think he's careless, just walking off that cliff. And the ego is barking at him, like the dog is barking at him, telling him, like, you're such a fool. Why would you do that? But the fool knows that this is the only way to go. It's the only way to go. And yeah, he does bring baggage with him, but he also knows that with every new cycle he begins, there is a new chance of learning something and growing from that experience. So there is something, okay, I'm getting something about someone being afraid, like, to step into a new cycle and to make old mistakes all over again. And, of course, we try to avoid that. We try to not do that. But, okay, so I use the word avoid, and that is actually not the right word to say in this context. It's not about avoiding the mistakes. It's about, like, actually, you will probably run up into similar problems. The question is, how do you react to them? Do you react in the same way as before? Or do you remember what you have learned from the previous cycle and apply that? And so that you don't have to repeat the old lessons again, but you bring into the new cycle what you've learned from those old lessons, and you can behave in a different way. And this is usually not a one and done thing. It's a gradual process. It's something that we have to do over and over and over and over again, until at some point maybe we are not a match to that kind of behavior, this pattern anymore, and it will at some point it will fade out. But it needs some kind of repetition and practice and sticking with it and not giving up and not thinking, oh, I thought that was over and here it is again, it doesn't work, I'm useless. I hear, oh dear. Yeah, all the stuff that we are telling ourselves, and the ego is barking at us and telling us, there you go, you shouldn't have done this. Like, if you just stayed where if you just had stayed where you came from, you know that, like, you'd be safe. And maybe all of that was just a stupid idea. So yeah, she is pointing us at it is about in this new cycle recognizing the old lessons, yes, but also recognizing that they're not the same, that there is actually a sense of novelty in there. There is something different about it. And that has to do with your capacity to react in a different way to them. Okay, she wants me to spell a few things out for you. I hope this writes. Yes. All right. Wow. So I do not know if you were able to read that. I will read it out for you. This is not a trap. Watch where you're going. Don't be a fool by trying not to be a fool. Have courage. You have the heart of a warrioress. Don't forget where you came from, what you've seen, or what you've learned. But always remember what's most important. The heart of a warrioress is still a heart. Love is the truth that lives in everything. Um, this is this is a new one for me too. They're like bringing all kinds of new elements into my readings. I love it. It's exciting, but I do have to get used to it. I have to admit, it's a bit of a. It feels like Russian roulette. What are they doing today? Yeah. All right. So this is not a trap. You know that walking down a cliff, stepping down a cliff, that feeling. Yeah, it can feel like. Are you like? What if down there is hell waiting for me? So no, it's not a trap. Just sometimes we just need to jump. Sometimes we just need to jump. And yeah, she's still saying, watch where you're going, watch where you're going. Don't follow it blindly. Like, still be aware of what you're doing. Still be aware of where you're jumping down. But let's put it that way. Those kind of cliffs that we are talking about, those cliffs that the fool steps down. Yeah. This is something where you just know it. You know that you have to do that. If your gut is the entirety of your being says, no, I shouldn't do that, then don't do it. It's that simple. And you know, the voices of your intuition and your soul, like the fool can be seen as the soul, like that is the soul guidance. It's not pushy, it's not loud, it's quiet, it's peaceful, it's calm, and it won't go away. So if you don't step down that cliff this time, the next chance will come around and you will be asked over and over and over again. I can attest to that. I really, that is something I can share from experience. And there were many times where I didn't jump, at least not the first time. And then maybe I went to the edge and I looked down and was like, I might jump, I could jump, but then I didn't. And the request came back around over and over again until I finally made the choice to jump. And I can tell you right now, I'm free falling. Free falling in so many ways. But it feels right. It feels right. It doesn't mean that I'm not scared or that I'm not sometimes questioning where I'm going. Yeah, I'm still watching where I'm going. I'm making conscious decisions. It's not like we are jumping down and then suddenly everything snaps and it changes and everything is just different than before. Usually it doesn't work that way. And so we have to be conscious about the decisions we are making. And like I say, don't follow it blindly. Follow your intuition, but your intuition is never pushy. It's never forcing you. It's, if there's any form of fear of missing out, again, pushy energy, if you don't do that, then bad things will happen. Insert whatever whatever your mind is trying to tell you. So yeah, those are usually, it's the ego. Like, that's the ego talking. The little ego, the one that doesn't want you to change anything because that's scary. And yeah, so make conscious decisions about where you're jumping down and watch where you're going. Don't be a fool by trying not to be a fool. Do I have to explain that? No, no, she says I can leave that. Okay, don't be a fool by trying not to be a fool. Yeah, have courage. You have the heart of a warrioress. Don't forget where you came from, what you've seen, or what you've learned. Basically, don't forget your history. But always remember what's most important. The heart of a warrior is still a heart. Yeah, so she's speaking about the aspect. I mean, she's a war goddess. So when you think about warriors, like we think about weapons, we think about like ruthless, strong characters that, yeah, that don't like they are cold, and they have to be, because otherwise it would just be too like a battlefield is not a place to be for yeah, if you're a huge softie, like that's probably not the place where you want to be. So but she's speaking to the heart, and that even a warrior or warrioress has a heart, and that it's important, even like, let's talk about an archetype or as of the warrior. There is such an archetype as the heart warrior or a love warrior, when you are actually fighting for the causes of the heart or of love. And you can be a warrior, warrioress, and your weapons are not physical. They're not swords or guns or violence in general, but there are so many different types of warriors. And it's important to, embody the strength of a warrior and have the courage of a warrior or warrioress. But we need the kind of warrior energy that never forgets the truth, and that is love, and that it lives in everything, even in what you perceive as your enemies. Even the thing that you're fighting is a part of the all of everything. And there's nothing in this universe that the great oneness cannot love, and where love cannot go. There's no place in this universe where love cannot go. So we're losing daylight. The sun has set. I'm wondering if, I think it's like the light is still enough for the recording for now. But I'm wondering, is there anything else that you want to share? That you want to share with us? Okay, she wants to close out with one card from an oracle deck, and then we're done. Let's see. Okay, that was quick. Oh, guys, cosmic heart. It's like what I just said in the end, about there's no place where this cosmic love cannot go. This is just like a second that. It's basically like an exclamation mark behind the thing that I said last. There's no place in this universe. There's nothing is so dark We're so dense that this kind of love cannot go there. And that is important to never forget when you set out on this path. And it seems like you are some kind of, you are somehow related to that warrior archetype. Or maybe you see yourself as some kind of heart warrior, maybe. Or it's just an archetype that you feel somehow drawn to or related to. That was a fun reading. I loved it. I really loved it, but yeah, I told you, it's it's unique. It's different here. It's different over here. And, you know, I'm working with many, many different archetypes, and you never quite know what you get with them, but that is what keeps it interesting and exciting. So, yeah, I would love to hear from you, how you resonate with that reading, if it spoke to you, if you can relate to what came up here. And if you are new here and haven't already, I would love for you to subscribe, of course. It would help me out a lot. And also you contribute your energy, and it's easier for me to pick up on it. Yeah, so thanks for being here. Thanks for contributing your energy and time to this reading. And I would love for you to see you in the next video. Until then, take care, my loves. Bye.